I know many think that a condo is a more affordable option, but nowadays condos are getting a pretty bad rap and they're not so affordable. I know. I was telling you last year that condos were not a good idea and they weren't affordable. I know. But hear me out. With the continuing rise of housing costs in this country right now, single family homes are becoming almost impossible for first time buyers to buy. But what if I was to tell you that condos may offer some hope for first time buyers as far as affordability is concerned? This video, I'm going to tell you the 5 reasons why you should consider buying a condo. Let's get started. Buying a home, especially a first one, can be extremely overwhelming, which is why I created this series to help educate you about the types of styles of homes that are out there. And in this video, yes, we're going to talk about reasons why you should buy a condo. And I know you're all like screaming at me right now because of this video I did a year ago telling you why you shouldn't. But I felt it was important because it does touch on the biggest thing, which is affordability. And there are some other reasons too that I'm going to bring up why I think a condo is a good idea for the first-time home buyer. So let's dive into this list right now. The number one reason, obviously, it's going to be that it's a lower purchase price than a single-family home. Condos are generally a lot cheaper than single-family homes that are within the same market or the same area. So the most recent average price for condos in the United States was $348,000. Now compare that to the price of a single-family home. Single-family homes are running about $410,000 and higher. Now, obviously, it all depends on the market you're in. Now, in some areas, some states, condos are going to be much cheaper than that, and some they're going to be a lot more. So, for example, say in states like in Arizona, the average condo price was around $287,000. Illinois, you're looking at a price of about $236,000. In Minnesota, you can find condos for around $217,000. These are average prices. Now, in states like Florida's a little bit more. They're lower threes. So you see an average price around $307 in Florida. And then if you go into states like Colorado, Hawaii, New Jersey, they do get a little bit more expensive, right? We're talking more of like a $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 for a condo. I know that's a lot. That's as much as a house. But for the most part, they are going to be lower price than a single family home. Because of that lower price point, it does make it a much easier entry into real estate for the first-time home buyer. So for the first-time buyer that's not there yet, they're not ready to spend $400,000 or more on a place, this is the better option. And now let's get into the HOA fees, because I know you're all yelling at the TV right now because I've been saying to you about the HOA fees. They're out of control and they're constantly rising, all the things. Okay, let's dive into that. Yes, HOA fees are an added expense, but you do have to look at what you're getting with those HOA fees. You have to see what the amenities are, right, in the building or community that you're buying the condo, and also what other things are the HOA fees covering, like maintaining the exterior of the building, maintaining the landscaping, the irrigation, all the things. The garbage pickup, that's another big thing. Let's break this down. If you were to buy a single family home and you had to pay for your garbage pickup, right, on a monthly basis. Now, in some areas that's covered by the taxes. In many areas, it's a private service that you have to pay out of pocket. That's extra. Like, for example, where we used to live in New York, we had to pay extra for that. That was a private service. Now, you have that expense. And say you want to hire a landscaper. Okay, you're going to pay for that. Now, if you're in the Northeast and you only need to have a landscaper cut your lawn during the summer months, okay, that's fine, but it adds up. Whereas if you have the HOA fee, that's one flat fee you're paying monthly. That's covering all of these things, okay? And also, again, the exterior of the building, any maintenance that goes on, that's on the association. Yeah, you're paying into that, but again, it's part of that monthly fee. Now, we know HOA fees can run as little as $50 a month, upwards to $500, $600 or more a month. Depends on what that building and that community offers. And I will say a lot of those HOA fees will go to cover the amenities. So the more amenities that you have, it's going to be a little bit more money. So you have to see exactly what you're getting in that HOA fee. So here is my tip, my reminder, and I've said this in prior videos. When you are purchasing a condo, you are going to be reviewing the financials of that homeowners association. And it's very important that you take a look at the stability of it. You want to see how much do they have in reserve. So if something was to happen, if they needed a new roof or they had to repair something, that there is enough in the reserves to cover that cost. Another important thing you want to check is to see if there are any assessments on the building. This is huge, especially for these buildings in Florida. If you're looking to buy a condo in Florida, you have to double check to see what the assessments are. Now, the assessments are typically being applied to those buildings that are over 3 stories tall. And this all goes back to that condo collapse that happened a few years ago. This is why a lot of condo owners are being slapped with these assessments, especially in those taller buildings. So do your homework. Have your attorney also review the condo docs, review the financials to make sure everything is on the up and up. Another thing you want to check too, before I forget, you want to check to see how much are those HOA fees increasing every year, right? Because they are going to raise them yearly. You got to just be prepared for that, because sometimes the insurance rates nowadays, that's what's impacting these HOA fees. So you want to cover yourself in case the insurance rates go up, and therefore it's going to cause the HOA fee to rise. So just be aware of that. Okay, so there's my disclaimer about the HOA fees. Let's move on. Hey, whether you're looking to buy a condo, single family home, or if you're looking to sell a condo or sell a single family home, if you need to be connected to a real estate agent in your market, please click that link down below, fill out the form, and I will get back to you as soon as possible and get you connected with an agent in your market. The next reason why you should consider buying a condo is the low maintenance living. I like to look at owning a condo as like the stepping stone into home ownership. Let's call it like it's the kindergarten of home ownership. Okay, you're easing your way in with learning how to maintain a home. Okay, I have had buyers in the past, first-time buyers, who went out and bought a house, right? And while they were aware of all the things that came with home ownership, the reality sets in once they take the keys and they move into that house, and they're just like hit with all of these things that they have to take care of. Like, say you know, cleaning the gutters, shoveling the driveway, right? If you're in a colder climate, landscaping, cutting your lawn. So if you don't want to pay for a landscaper, you're going to cut it yourself. I mean, it becomes a lot, right? Owning a condo, it's actually going to teach you the basics, right? So say you have like a leaky faucet and you want to try and fix it yourself, you can fix that. Say if you want to update a bathroom, right? And you want to do that yourself. I've had clients that actually did that. They learned how to change out a vanity, change out a toilet in their condo. They learned the basics on how to do these things living in their condo. And it was great. So by the time that they bought the next place, they bought their house, like, oh, I know how to fix that, right? If there was a leak somewhere or there was a problem, like, oh, I knew how to fix that. It's just an easy transition into home ownership, especially for first-time buyers. You don't want to deal with all the stuff that goes along with owning and maintaining a big single-family home. This is the way to go. The third reason why you should consider buying a condo is the amenities. Now, as I said before, you're paying an HOA fee, right? And a lot of those fees are going to go towards paying for the amenities. That could be your gym. It could be a pool, tennis courts, pickleball, all the things, depending on, you know, where you're located and what the building or community offers. So what I like about that is that, you know, especially for the young people, you don't have to get up and, you know, get yourself together to go out to the gym, you know, which could be a couple of miles away. And you're also paying an extra monthly fee to be a member of a gym. Here, you're paying that HOA fee and you have access to a gym. You have access to a pool. The other nice thing about it is the whole social aspect of it, right? You meet people in your building that way. You know, you go to the gym or it's a nice day, you want to go hang out at the pool, you get to socialize and meet your neighbors. So I like that for first-time buyers because it's just a nice to have. It really is. The fourth reason why you should consider buying a condo are the location advantages.
Power is a lot like real estate. It's all about location, location, location.
Now, you all know condos are typically located in urban centers or walkable neighborhoods. And this is ideal, again, for the young first-time buyers, especially those who have a job and say they buy a condo in a community nearby a city, because condos are typically built near public transportation, right? There could be a bus stop nearby, a train station close by. So you have that ease of access to transportation to get you, you know, to your job, right? Or into a city, to entertainment. So that's another great thing about it. Again, you don't have to worry about driving your car all over the place. These are typically in walkable neighborhoods and it's convenient, right? It provides a lot of convenience. Finally, the last reason why you should consider buying a condo is It provides a built-in community and security. This I really love for the first-time buyer, because if you're single and you're buying a condo by yourself, it's nice to have security, right? So most condo buildings will have some type of security system, and some will even have an on-site security guard, right? That's walking the grounds, walking the building, making sure no strangers come into the building. So if there's no security guard, you'll have a key fob, right? One of those electronic things you have to put up against a door to allow you in. It's not just somebody can just pull open a door and walk into the building. So that, I like that a lot, because again, it's security, it's safety. If you're living alone, you want to make sure that you're safe. Another thing let's talk about is your built-in community, your neighbors. Now, some people may be like, yeah, I don't want to be too close to neighbors. I don't want to talk to people, but hear me out. It is beneficial to get to know your neighbors, because if you're going to say go on vacation and you're going to leave your condo for a while, your neighbors are going to look out for you, right? That's a good thing. And you heard me talk about this on a video I did about why you should buy a townhouse. Same thing. You'll have that sense of community and a little added security when your neighbors are watching your place for you. So I really like that aspect of owning a condo. So tell me, did you own a condo before moving into a single family home? Are you considering buying a condo right now? Let me know down in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Tell me, what you think about it, what your plans are. How are you feeling about the HOA fees and the amenities, all the things. If you also needed to know what are the types of homes you should consider buying, you can watch this right here. You'll get a lot of information out of that. Thank you so much for watching me today to get your dose of real estate reality. My name is Jackie Baker, and I will see you next time.